we need to water for trees and some sunflower trees so they will grow so we can sell them. This is Kate and Clyde's tree farm. Yeah. No, like this. Yeah.
We'd gotten these tanks set up, leveled. We'd hooked the trash pump up to the pond, brought it up here. We did get those filled yesterday, all the way to the top, so about 660 gallons. The idea was that with all that weight, we would have plenty of pressure down here. We tested that out this morning with a water hose down there. One of our definite issues is the length of our water hose. We're getting a lot of pressure drop in that 5/8 inch water hose. But even that said, I was having to water one by one on the trees this morning because the stream was so slow, so we didn't really have that much pressure. So these come from Harbor Freight. They come with a pressure tank mounted underneath, and we had dropped it off of the workbench, and one of the feet got bent and it put a pinhole leak in the pressure tank. So I tried to weld it. It's really thin walled, so it just opened completely up. So the pressure tank is gone, and we have a pressure issue with water in the trees over here. Kind of a match made in heaven. I'm the world's worst at keeping everything in hopes of one day needing it, and this is an example. So we kind of hacked together a way to hook this pump up to these and try it out. So this is not the end state, but we did get it working. We had a bunch of flexible reducers laying around from the well project. All of this was had been hooked up before, but in a different configuration. We had this union here. We made just kind of a makeshift base for this since it doesn't have the pressure tank anymore. Set it up here. Nothing's glued because this isn't final. We didn't have any 1.5 inch. I had to run to the store, but we found this 1.5 inch galvanized nipple out in the back that came with the trash pump at one point, which made the perfect little place for this. Pressure switch seems to not be working for some reason, so we had to jump that. The way these things work is in order to keep the pump from running at all times, which is not rated to do, it's supposed to pressurize a tank underneath it to minimize the runtime. So this is supposed to kick the electricity off to the pump when you reach a certain pressure over here, which will then turn the pump off. This wasn't working when we plugged it in. It didn't work. We jumped across and just ran straight, there's 120 straight to the motor. So there is no automatic turn off here. We're just gonna have to manage that. We're gonna have to maybe figure out a way to cool this and just kind of minimize the amount of time that we have it running. But we can show it running real quick. Water. Got plenty of pressure now. And I'm spraying everyone, sorry. At some point, we'll probably be looking around on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace for a used pressure tank, maybe something a little bigger. And then the ideal state is we'll move away from hand watering these things and move into some sort of automated drip system in the future, and then have multiple zones on that, both for watering and for logging how much water we're putting into these things. But all in all, pretty good. We just hand watered all these things, probably used 30 gallons of water. Hey y'all, come see what I made.
What is it? What?
We're looking at the trees?
Yep. Alexa, turn on the tree sprinklers.
How'd you do that, babe?
Well, to go with the spirit of hacking stuff together today, we just took an Amazon smart plug that we had laying around and connected it to the pump. And and set it up. So we just renamed the plug to tree sprinklers so we can tell Alexa to turn it on. It's kind of wonky because we have to leave the water on in between, so there is still some leakage in here, but eventually we'll work out all the valves and everything automatically. The idea would be that we would have zones in here and it'll automatically water, but today just a little fun experiment. We'll see how long that smart plug can take the current draw that motor puts out, so that may end up breaking. We'll see. We're back down at the scrap pile where we throw all the stuff that we may need for later on. We got some sprinklers made up today, and they put out a bunch of water, maybe too much water for the amount of water that we have stored. So we also have a drip system that we set up at one point that we're going to hook up. So we need to put some T-posts up along the rows so we can hang the drip system. So it looks like we have a couple here from a leftover hog trap, I think. And we're just going to look for the T-post driver. Hopefully we have that. And we're going to knock these T-posts in over there. And hopefully we will hang the drip line tonight. Found it. Here, Maddie.
What's this thing?
Oh, the T-post.
Go.
How can I hold it?
Just carry it. Did you get the bunny?
No, I didn't get it.
Why not?
Because I didn't get it.
Come here. Thank you, Maddie.
I'm gonna get it.
Go up,
Maddie, watch out.
down. Up, down. All right, Daddy's turn. Good boy. Love you.
And I'll get you for the sprinklers.
Okay, lift it up. Okay, go.
Daddy turn.
All right. We have this leftover drip system. I guess it's not really leftover. We set it up for these trees last fall when we were planting the acorns, and we had a leak on our outdoor faucet up there. So we still needed to mow around it and stuff, so we kind of just picked it all up and hung it over the fence. So we haven't ever used it other than just testing it. But we're going to string a line between these two T-posts, and we're going to hang it up, and we're going to see where the pressures are at from this pump to see if we can handle the pressure. We do have a pressure regulator up there that's meant for the outdoor faucet, so that should get us down in a pressure range that we shouldn't have an issue with that well pump we have up there. And then we've got these 1/2 gallon an hour emitters on here with this 1/2 inch main line and these 1/4 inch little lines out here. Still probably going to go through quite a bit of water per tree, but shouldn't have as much evaporation, and we should get the water down on the roots much better.